I am doing well.
That's great.
And I've just had my lunch. I just posted about this guy, Kevin Gebert, on the Intentional Success site.
What did you have for lunch?
Oh, well, I had chicken stir fry and this really delicious bun.
Awesome. Now, my friend Kevin is writing a book. Did you know that?
Well, I did know that. And I think it's his second book because I seem to have his first book in my hands.
Oh, the next book is called about chicken.
Chicken.
Yes.
You want to tell me a little bit more there?
Don't be chicken with your moolah, but be smart.
So you got to be smart with your chicken. I mean, smart with your money. I mean, smart with, what are we being smart
with? Moolah.
Whoa, with the moolah.
Moolah mustache. We could be in a farm right now. Well, you know, that's where we get your moolah.
And your bucks.
I will go get Mr. Gebert.
Thank you, Mr.
Goodman. Bye-bye, Tina.
Bye-bye, Mr. Goodman. All right, should we just jump in? Welcome to Intentional Success, where we are intentional about your success, where you will find all the people and their courses that you probably wouldn't find anywhere else because, you know, we like to play, we like to have fun, and we know that learning is different for everybody. And it's all about your intention to learn. It's not about having to fit a certain box. So today I am thrilled to be with the fabulous and funny Kevin Gebert. Kevin, say hi.
Hi, Tina.
So Kevin is with us. And if you've been on the site, on the Intentional Success site, then you'll know that there's the whole thing is we're saying, if you love us, meaning you love TinaO, and you love Gina, then you're going to love who we love. And Kevin's in my camp. Kevin's in if you love TinaO, you're going to love Kevin Gebert.
Well, I'm trying to, Tina, sorry to interrupt. I'm trying to get Gina to love me too.
Oh, Gina loves you.
Oh, okay, but I'm just
the way
you said that, it sounded like, you know, Tina and Gina were like competition over me. Well, I'm up for it.
So it's like, whose camp are you in?
Exactly.
This is a good segue. This is a great segue. So the reason I love Kevin, for all of you watching, the reason I love Kevin is because he's not your average financial planner. He makes me laugh. He takes me way outside the box. I never really know what's going to come out of his mouth. But
Wisdom.
Well, we always get to wisdom. In fact, that's not what comes out of your mouth. What comes out of your, no, that's like all the knowledge. That's what comes out of your head.
Oh,
right?
That's why my head hurts sometimes.
Oh, there's a lot of information in there, Kevin. There's a lot of information.
Well, I have some Moolah aspirin for that.
Oh, good. Is that actually called hard cash?
I have no idea.
So today, now that you're joining us, we're going to talk about what makes Kevin different. Why Kevin? Why do I love Kevin? Why are you going to love Kevin? Does he speak your language? Do you speak his language? And how does the whole money language thing work anyway? So we're going to talk a lot about the dance between having a good time with your finances and getting it done. And one of the things that I appreciate about Kevin is like, I'm always looking for that breakthrough concept when I'm looking for someone to put their program on intentional success. I'm always looking for like, what's the thing that nobody actually owns out there in the market? Like, what's that thing that's different? And Kevin's thing, if I can speak for you, Kevin, and then I'm going to get
Go ahead.
For you.
I'll correct you if you're not correct, though.
Okay, good. He actually suggests that money and moolah is fun. And it's not just about having money that's fun. It's the way you use it, the way you have it, the way you save it, the way you think about it, the way you approach it. And there's
the way you fit it into your wallet.
That's fun, right? There's lots of ways.
Whether how you sort it by color if you're in Canada or by number if you're in the States.
You are such
if you actually have bills in your wallet or your purse anymore.
You are an A typer, aren't you? You're like,
No, I'm a good typer. Old typewriters.
yes, I do. I learned how to type on those.
Okay, so I type. My dear mother made me take typing.
I learned how to type on one of those. I just remember my typing teacher had really long claw fingernails. Like I was like when she typed. And I know what I love.
Typing is very important, people.
Okay, so Kevin Gebert, let me look at your little bio here. Kevin Gebert, you are a published author. I know this because I have your book.
Oh, that's proof. That is social proof.
That is social proof. You have been a financial planner since 1986. Am I right?
1986?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that would make you.
1986. I am so happy that I take care of the numbers. Yes. Did you know that my mom used to tell me that she visited me a lot?
Yes.
Right? And then I used to remember, well, why? Where, Mom, you didn't come over to visit me. No, I went to Chapters and I visited your book on the shelf.
Oh.
Yes.
Mom. Okay, so how long have you been a financial planner, Kevin?
Since 1996.
96.
Yes, 1986, that was grade 8, not to date me.
You know.
Expo 86, for those people knowing in Canada.
I remember Expo 86. I think some people might go, does this guy actually know what he's doing? Like, really? Because he's kind of funny. He's a bit jokey. Should I really give him my numbers? Should I? But really, you know how you know what I love about brilliant people?
How do you know, Tina? Please tell me.
I will trust a funny person more than I will trust a sad person. Did I just say that? But it's true. I will trust a funny person more than a sad person because being funny is a sign of intelligence. Just saying.
Well, the thing is that as a financial planner,
yeah,
I grew up, or in my training is all left brain, all analytical stuff, right? And unfortunately, tragedy hit, and I really use comedy and laughter to get through a tragedy. So that's, you have to laugh, you have to enjoy life. Remember, when you leave this earth, you're leaving hopefully with memories and not money that you should have spent in your bank account, right?
Leaving with memories and not money you should have spent that's
in your bank account.
Ah, okay.
Right? Now, you have to make sure you have your foundation, right? So you can enjoy life. You're not putting everything, you're not going on at like a dopamine kick and you're shopping for dopamine, right? I should have a shirt. So shopping for dopamine, and then that, when you get your credit card bill, that, oh my goodness, that shot wasn't good. And if I can put a smile on someone's face because they have a right money plan, they have the right Moolah plan, then I know I've added something positive to their life.
So Kevin, when you started working or going down the road of financial planning, what was motivating you then?
Well, I grew up basically the family wasn't talking about money. And I wanted to create a life for me and my family that wasn't a 9-to-5 job kind of thing. And, just not tied. I was able to use my creativity, able to help people and that sort of thing. So in the early 90s, I got introduced to financial planning and kind of jumped from there, and started my practice in 96 and from scratch, and have been able to have the privilege of working with a lot of people over those years, and just putting people's smiles on their faces. So, because the thing is, if you put a smile on your face because of work that you've done or accomplishments that you've made, it's just, if I can be part of that equation of putting a smile on someone's face because I assisted them on their money game or their money story. We worry about life way too much.
And so right from the get-go, you were looking at, for your own life, having some flexibility, being able to put what's really important to you first. So you chose a career that set that up, right?
Yeah.
Being a financial planner gives you that freedom, those options, but also as a financial planner, that it sounds to me like that's part of what it's all about for you when you're working with your clients, is you're wanting them. Am I hearing you right? You wanting them to be able to put their life first too. Is
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. There's a big taboo about talking about money, right? Even in my family, when I was growing up, my mom, come home from the grocery store and look what I got. These bags are pretty expensive. What's in it, right? Look what I got for $100, right? And living to paycheck. And I tell a story in the book about my dad taking us to McDonald's every 2 weeks, and he's always having coffee. And I didn't realize that back in the day before Happy Meals and all that stuff, right? He, my brother put together my dad's 60th birthday party, put together a little video. And he said, the reason why Dad had coffee was because he wanted to save that money so he could go home and, have Mom's good cooked meal. But, we're all busy with, Ronald McDonald and hamburger back in the days when they actually had those things at McDonald's,
Remember those.
and the toys and anyway, so we're busy, and I never knew my dad only had coffee, but we always had this his own. He made sure his family had the Happy Meal and the dessert before the Happy Meal was invented. So thanks,
Again,
Dad.
there's that word for you, right? There's that.
Hey, I just thought of that right. Hey, seriously,
Right?
I just thought of that right now.
Did you? It's like,
Yeah, because back in speaking of 1986, when I was in grade 8, not starting my business, but we won't, go back there with the numbers. There was no such thing as a Happy Meal.
Yeah,
Or it's
no.
marketed that way, right? But I guess my dad and my mom gave us kids our own Happy Meal, given the budget that they had, right? So, hey, thanks for that. That's cool.
It's pretty interesting. Hey, you're a sentimental guy.
I don't know about sentimental. It's just I try to be a caring person. It's basically you're building, when you have a good money story, is that you're building that foundation so you're as proactive as you can be. So then when you have to be reactive, then you're not as, you don't make the boo-boos that maybe you would make if you had nothing in place. My daughter the other day told me, hey, Dad, I'm going to write some jokes for you, and I'm going to charge you. I said, well, how much do they charge? Well, Dad, you're going to get 2 jokes free. Yeah. Yeah. So.
And then you got to pay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Dad, you're so punny. You're not funny, but in this situation, talking about money, which is the Financial Photographs book, right? And building your Moolah story, talking to people, that's where you get your wisdom from and your stories from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, when you're on your deathbed, so to speak, you can look at the memories rather than the what ifs, right? The memories of, I did have a good money story. So I look back at my story, all the people I helped, all the people I was able to enjoy life with, and not at the what if, I wish I would have done that rather than leaving this amount of money in my bank account, right?
Mm-hmm. So this is a nice segue into, because you shared a little bit about your life and a little bit about humor and how it's helped you in difficult times and kind of stay focused. And I wanted to know, because your online program it's not dry. And we're talking about money, like money and number. And so I'm just curious, why do you think being able to laugh is important when working with finances with your clients?
It's just if everyone had a perfect road to a perfect life, then you wouldn't need a plan, you wouldn't need anything, right? And you just have to be able to laugh at some of the decisions you make. Laughing as in, they might be some decisions that, oh my goodness, they're not funny, right? So let's get that out of the way. But you just have to be able to have a good belly laugh or have a good laugh at your life. So it's just the enjoyment of it, right? And when you talk about money, part of the taboo is like, oh my goodness, I don't want to, so-and-so is doing better than me, or I want to keep up with the Joneses, that sort of thing, right? But once we get that out of the way, that elephant in the room, so to speak, if you can laugh at things, you can have humor, you can open up the right side of your brain, which is all creative and all that stuff, and you can make sure that your Moolah story can be changed to the better so you can live a good life. And then as the chapters are written down the road, then they are great chapters rather than chapters of regret, right?
I think that's a great offering, because I know for me in my own experience with money, I recognize how every year when I do my taxes, picking up my receipts brings me right back to whatever that receipt is about. And so there's actually something, to me anyway, and I would imagine for our listeners, almost uncomfortable about handling my own money, because it's it can feel confrontational. And so I love in your book and your approach of financial photographs, and just where you're going now, where you're offering ways to look at your life from a more joyful place. And so when I pick up my receipts, do I want to pick up my receipt and go, oh, that was a great memory? Or do I want to pick up that receipt and go, oh, I shouldn't have spent that?
Yeah, that's a good thing, because where the pictures come from, my mom used to, she's a genealogy buff, and, taking back in the day when, she probably made the picture developer a part of his pension plan because she got doubles and triples and all that stuff, right? But my grandmother just passed away a couple of weeks ago from cancer. And she gave me, my grandfather and her gave me this great gift in a year, my 30th birthday, I think it was, that kind of got me along the route to this financial photographs book, was an album of pictures. So from my birth announcement to my first haircut to marriage pictures, all that stuff, right? And, all about pictures or memories. And so, from a Moolah story perspective, we'll be going through the pictures that were already taken. And then how are we going to take pictures in the future, right?
Correct.
What is going to be the background? Who's going to be in the pictures? That sort of thing. So pictures, just like receipts, when you look at receipts, or you look at your return, or you look at, memories pop up, on Facebook, things pop up, a year later, 3 years later, right? And it's like it brings back the memories. So writing your story, you can learn from the chapters before, so you can make the chapters ahead much better, right? So
I like that. I'm wondering how, because you're a comic, how laughter, or just being playful, or looking at things through a lighter lens, has helped you focus in your life, or like get it done. Like I think about having a financial plan, it takes focus. And I know for me, boy, that's a challenge for me. So how does levity help you stay focused?
I think from when you're dealing with money, you're dealing with a lot of serious things. And there's transitions in your life, the good of the winning the lotto and getting a contract, signing your first contract in the NFL, or getting a job, buying your first house, all those good things. And then there's the unfortunate things in life that you have to deal with, death for one, divorce for another, sickness, those things. And it's hard to use humor in the bad days, but I have used it going through those bad transitions or things in your life, just using it just to take that 5 minutes or those 5 seconds away, so your brain's thinking about something else, and you can recharge and be the calmest and the most mindset. Your mindset is focused on what's important, And, that just like going for a walk, drinking a glass of water, you need to laugh to have a healthy lifestyle, right? In my view. So,
because your programs really invite us to have a different relationship with our money stories, what we're calling our Moolah story, right? And I think that's a really important takeaway from anyone who chooses to work with you and learn from you. It's not just about the numbers, it's how you are with them.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, some of us are blessed with millions of dollars and some of ours are blessed with little money, right? Depending on the career change or the career path, who our family was, a lot of things. So, like you can't, be 48 years old, 2 kids, get divorced, and then all of a sudden go back to school and get a new job specifically, right? Simply because, you need to work, right? Mm-hmm. So having that Moolah story and being ready for all that what if, right? Mm-hmm. And even, the what if of you're happily married and then all of a sudden divorce happens, right? It's not exactly that you're going to have a thing on your cash flow sheet of possible divorce, putting money in, for that, right?
Right. Or that's not something you plan for.
No. And that wouldn't really add value to your marriage if you had that in your cash flow sheet, right? So, and then, my mother had cancer for 18 months and passed away at 65. My grandmother just passed away at 94, 95, and she, lived in her house until 1 week or 2 weeks, right? And so it all goes back to enjoying life. And I guess, not that I go on a little tangent here, but it just a memory that serves me is one thing is that, you want to make sure that if you're still working during retirement, that you're working because you want to, not because you have to. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're waking up in the morning. Okay. And this kind of is the lyrics in that song that you get to hear, the theme song. We'll get into that. Sorry, that's another creative thing. I started writing and all these songs come to mind, right? And it's like, oh my goodness. So when you wake up in the morning, where do you go? Is it a job that it's your calling, or is it just to make some dough? Right? So I think those are the right lyrics, right? I haven't.
Yeah. Well, they're great for today. They're great for today. And again, they're like, there you go again, right?
I'd love it when, you get up and you're not feeling good, right? So you call in sick, right? Now, wouldn't this be great? Tina, your Moolah story is done pat, right?
Yeah.
So you're working and you call your employer because you're calling in retired. Hey, everything's fine, right? Rather than wishing you could call and retire, talk to someone like me, your financial planner, then start your financial story, your Moolah story, and then realize that you can't make that call for another 10 years.
This brings up a really good point, right? Because there's going to be people who take your program because they haven't started their Moolah story yet.
Exactly.
Right?
And you always,
yeah.
You always need a starting point, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so what happens? Like, what happens if you're like, man, I should have started this 10 years ago? Does it matter? I mean, I know obviously it matters, but like, is this where the laughter comes in? Is this where we have to come on, man, here's where we're here now. Like,
yeah, just laugh it off. Like, oh, I wish I would have done this. Take what I've learned. Take where I am today. Start with chapter 1. Then we get to chapter 2. Then we get to chapter 3. If
I'm late to the game, if I'm late to the story, I can still write a Moolah story?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no cookie cutter, because you say, well, how long is your story going to be? What if there's more month at the end rather than money, right? Should my chapter be 107 like my great grandmother, 65 like my mom, 48 or 48 plus, for me right now, 26 for you right now, right? So, you've got 26 chapters in your life so far, right? You're way younger than me, so.
What's going on your lawn out there? Something's happening. You're looking over there. I'm like, what's happening over there?
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm trying to make sure I'm still in the camera.
I'm like, is somebody naked on his lawn? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I will stay centered here. So if I'm not in the picture, please tell me.
Yeah, I was like, Kevin, you're on the floor. Yeah.
I tell people, laugh at me or with me, just don't tell me.
Laugh at me or with
me, because they're smiling, right?
This brings me to my last two questions for you. Actually, no, I'm gonna throw one at you.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
This wasn't in the pre-meeting notes.
No, it wasn't. Because the whole thing is that anyone watching this video is really watching to figure out, is this someone I want to learn from? Is this like the dude I want to learn from? Right? And we know, or at least I would say, that there's a zillion smart people out there. So it could be any of them. So it's not going to be because you're smart. Because if you weren't smart, you wouldn't be sitting in that chair anyway. Because I sure as hell wouldn't have you on the screen with me if you weren't smart. So it's going to have something to do with what matters the most to you about what you do. And so if you could spray paint the sky, right, with like one major message for anyone who works with you, who learns from you, who works with you, whatever, on their money story and their Moolah story, what do you really want people to know?
I want to live your life and money on purpose. That would be my mission.
So what you're saying is that anyone who takes this program with you, the end game is that their life is like a bestseller for them.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So that's their Moolah story. And am I getting you right that it's not just about the money? It's about the plan, and all of that has to happen, but it's actually about the lifestyle. It's about the happy thing. It's about having the happy meal.
If you have a good Moolah story and you're able, those chapters are the stories of you spending time, going on vacations, taking time off of work just to spend time with family, right? Those are a lot of things that come up when you're writing because usually when you're writing a story, your theme might be your life. Okay, the Moolah story, that's what we're calling the course, right? But it's really your money story, Kevin's Moolah story, Tina's Moolah story, Bob's Moolah story, right? Our family's Moolah story, right? Mm-hmm. And, you might be single, you can write with a single author. If it's a family, then maybe you want to write your story from a collaborative author standpoint, right? My mom was a twin. My mom had twins. My third sister, who's not the twins, had twins. My brother had twins. My cousin had twins.
No.
Yeah, lots of twins.
Wow.
Lots of twins.
Okay, I'm just being ridiculous, but it actually makes me want to learn about money from you even more, because I know that like duplication is actually in your it's
compound interest.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so let's wrap this up because I think I've got it. I think I got it. That people are...
You've got the punchline. Money's not a joke, though. Okay, let's get that across.
Money's not a joke, but it can be a laughing matter.
It could be a laughing matter, yes.
Right? But it's not a joke.
No, it's not a joke. It's a process that you go through. And, I'm here to, my goal in life is to help people, and one of the ways is through writing and putting together a course that I know people will enjoy. As you wrap up, you have to remember that people are going to meet Mr. Moolah Doula.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. We're gonna circle to him. That's our closing number, Kevin.
Yeah, because we're gonna birth your Moolah story.
Oh my gosh, that sounds messy. I'm wondering what your big intention is for everyone who takes the Moolah story. What's your intention for them? If you could write them a little wish, what would it be?
My intention would be that when you take Moolah's story, is that you will be able to open up your brain, open up your mind, open up your thoughts of what's really important to you. And my intention is that you will take where you are today and you'll make those little changes, big or small, so that the next chapters of your life will just be the most wonderful thing that you could ever imagine. That as many dreams that you want will come true.
Beautiful. I often think of you as, you help people put fun and freedom in their bank account.
Success is not your net worth; it's your self-worth. It's the impact you can make with with other people, family, friends. Right? It's just that you need to make sure you will be more successful. At least that's my belief. Okay. You'll be more successful if you have that oxygen mask on first. Okay? So that you've taken care of yourself so you can take care of others. So again, it goes back to the memories instead of what ifs.
Yeah. You just you can't stop Kevin from singing. You just need to know that if you're watching, you're going to take his chorus and like in the weirdest places, the dude breaks out into song. It just happens.
Tina, you'd have to agree though, is that the writing, a song is not a poem is not a song until you add music to it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I will be working with everyone that takes the course on writing your own poem. And then they will have the option to put music to it.
Because what happens when we put music to our Moolah story, Kevin? What happens?
It just sings and sings and sings. You wake up to your Moolah story tune.
Oh, I love that. It's like an earworm. It's like a earworm.
Earworm?
You haven't heard earworm?
It's like a good thing.
You haven't sang in enough choirs. So an earworm is like that song you just can't stop hearing. It's like,
well, put it this way. The Moolah song that you write could be your wake-up tune and your lullaby at night.
Because what you think about, you bring about, right? And you're going to speak it into life or sing
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Hey, are you working on a song right now? You working on anything right now?
Yes.
Might you, I don't know, you want to share anything of it? Just a little bit with us?
Well, I was in the shower.
As we are, yes.
Getting ready for this interview.
Yes.
Because I wanted to make sure my hair was okay.
You did good, sir. You did good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have been creating a song about the bucket list.
Okay. How's it go, Kevin?
It's combining a list and a bucket.
Funny that.
I have a list in my pocket. I have a bucket in my hand. Getting your bucket list, right?
That makes me think about that song, which we won't sing. Do you remember that song? There's a hole in my bucket.
Bucket, dear Liza, there's a hole in my bucket, and the Moolah story will fill it up.
Yay! Well, let's close on that. I think we've given people a good sense of who you are, what you care about, and your sense of humor. And more than anything, Kevin, because I know we mess around and we have fun and we make up silly songs, we do all that stuff, but the main thing about you is that you're all heart. Like, you're all heart. And you have lots of information for all of the students, and that's all great. But what holds all that information is your heart.